What is going on, everyone? It's Michelle URL here with Untwisting the Game Crypto, and today we're talking Cardano City. Of course, we know there's been a lot of hype over this project. So basically, I'm going to try to go through this quickly. I just wanted to share a little bit of my perspective on this project, but I'm going to piggyback off of the video that Army of Spies posted earlier today. Okay, so definitely go show his channel some love. He continues to give the Cardano community consistent content, so go ahead and show this video some love, okay? So the first thing that I want to talk about is the delay, okay? We all know this was supposed to launch on Sunday. The Cardano City team later decided to, well, actually right when the drop was supposed to happen, they decided to postpone and reschedule for tomorrow, Tuesday. So from my perspective, I actually like when projects do this. And I think this is a good sign with this team, is that they are showing that they care, right? Because they could, let's be real, they could have easily gone ahead and gone through with this drop on Sunday, done a cash grab. It could have been a complete shit show, but they still would have made money, and then they could have wiped their hands clean of this, right? Again, if we're thinking that this is a scam, but I think it shows a good sign that they decided to delay it and try to give the best experience to potential buyers, right? To me, it shows that they care. Okay. So I've seen projects do this, and NFT projects do this that I'm involved with. I absolutely respect it, and I am always 100 behind delaying the project a little bit to make sure everything goes as smoothly as possible. So good sign right there. So the next thing I want to talk about is NFT fairness. Called this out that they are using what looks like to be stock footage in their trailer. So for someone as myself who has been a video professional for a number of years at this point now, it is 100% common and acceptable to use stock footage. Okay, I'm letting y'all know now, more than half of the commercials you see, movies that you watch, video content that you see on a daily, weekly basis has stock footage, okay? It is 100% acceptable for production teams to use stock footage, templates, presets. It's actually smart to do because it saves you time and resources, right? Now, I understand in this context how one can assume we're seeing these cool 3D, sort of renders in this trailer. And I think it would be natural for you to assume that the team is creating this imagery. We can't always assume that, right? So I think we have to go into this a little bit, thinking that this team, whoever this is, whoever they may be starting where they're at with what they have. Okay. So, the visuals that we saw in here, these sort of 3D like renders, this stuff is not easy to make, right? So again, my perspective, I'm not alarmed by them using stock footage whatsoever, but I can understand how it may throw people off because you may assume that they are actually creating that imagery, right? So I wanted to call that out. Next thing. Talking about the art here. So one thing that I want to point out is I agree with the Army of Spies here that this is great art. I mean, this is beautiful stuff. Okay. Now, one thing that I notice, and again, it's not like this, I've studied illustration or 3D animation. I've done 3D animation in the past, so I kind of know what goes into all of that. But one thing that I did notice is that this is an illustrated 2D image, right? Again, beautifully done, beautifully done. However, it did kind of confuse me a little bit because if we're all expecting this to be a virtual reality 3D metaverse type of project, if it's going to evolve into that, why would they be creating a 2D illustrated image? Now, again, I could be completely wrong. I don't, maybe this is some sort of effect they have on this. I don't know. But from my eye, this looks very 2D and it looks illustrated. You can see in the hair. Let me go over here to... Okay, so yeah, in this, you can obviously see these brush strokes, right? Again, still a beautiful image, but that did kind of made me tilt my head to the side. Why are these 2D illustrated images if this is going to evolve into a 3D metaverse type of project? And again, that's something to point out, is the word evolve, right? Again, this team could be starting where they are with what they have, and what they have right now is 2D illustrating capabilities, but maybe they want to turn it into this 3D cyberpunk type of artistry, right? So another pro that stands out to me is the idea of these sort of Easter eggs that they're putting into these images. So here, this image, to me, it says that this team is very intentional. So we already know the art itself is good. The illustration itself is good. But the fact that if you, start zooming in on this stuff, let me go over here. Yeah. And you just see the detail. Like, the detail in this is just wicked, y'all. Right? The detail is wicked. And as somebody pointed out here, these Easter eggs, right? So it doesn't seem like this is someone just drawing up an image and posting it. This seems like someone who may be an OG, diehard Cardano fan, and really putting a lot of thought and intention into composing these images. And I think that's a very good sign. And so lastly, kind of the metaverse topic that Army of Spies was talking about. Is this just going to be an NFT, or is this going to evolve into, a metaverse or something more with utility, right? We'll see, right? That's kind of, the gamble that we're all taking right now in participating in this. Now, if you love the art, awesome. You love the art. That's perfect. But if you're going into this with the expectation that this will turn into a metaverse, you definitely have to enter this with caution, because nobody knows. Right? So, I think, at least for me, I immediately thought, the Decentraland or the crypto voxels of Cardano, because of this one NFT equals one plot language here. This language, to me, makes me assume that this will evolve into a virtual reality metaverse type of project. But as Army of Spies said, that isn't explicitly said anywhere in these posts or anywhere, right? We don't have a lot of information. So, and that kind of leads into my last point here. If you go ahead, beware of lobster traps, as Army of Spies was talking about. Be very aware. I will most likely participate in this project. I love the work. Like I said, I can feel the intention and the work that is being put into this. Now, could this absolutely fall to the ground and be a cash grab and a scam? 100%. Of course, it could. But I'm going into this knowing that this may turn out to be nothing, right? And that's the risk that we're taking. So I definitely wouldn't say, I wouldn't be throwing bags on bags of Cardano into this. Probably not for me. Again, it's going to come down to each person and what you're willing to risk, and if you're really falling in love with what they're doing or not. But what I will say, as someone myself who is been working on a Cardano NFT project for the better of like 8 to 9 months at this point, this stuff is not easy, And a lot of people are starting where they are with what they have. And what they have right now may be these 2D illustrated, JPEGs to start, but they may have an incredible vision that they can work towards if they have the funds and they have the support that they need to get there. But again, that might not be for everybody. So I totally understand that. And I will say one other thing in regards to, is it just an art NFT? If the Cardano City team happens to watch this, if this is just an art NFT project, what can you incorporate community wise with this project to incentivize or to reward people who are becoming collectors of these NFTs, right? I'm involved with another NFT art project, but the rewards, the community is just so powerful and great, right? So, will we get the metaverse? Who knows? It would be awesome. Like, I'm on board with everybody. This looks sick. If they can actually pull this off, I have so many ideas of how I would be able to utilize what I could do in this sort of, cyberpunk Cardano metaverse. It would be totally sick if they could pull this off, but I'm going into this knowing that it may not happen. Okay. So that's it, y'all. I hope y'all like this video. If you did like it, hit those comments. We'll love to hear y'all's perspective on this project. Subscribe to our channel. If you want to know more about us, hit our solo.to link in the description. And that's all I have for y'all. Have a good one.
They said